Hey, what's up everybody? Ben here from blogwithben.com. Are you struggling to navigate the complex world of email marketing? If so, you're not alone. Figuring out how to use a new email marketing provider can be overwhelming, but don't worry, I've got your back. In today's video, we're diving into Mailercloud, a user-friendly solution that's great whether you're a new blogger or a pro marketer. And in this comprehensive tutorial, I'll guide you step by step on how to sign up and set up your Mailercloud account with ease. We'll also create stunning web forms and seamlessly add them to a WordPress website or blog so you can grow your audience. And we'll create an automated welcome email campaign that will wow your new subscribers. The great part about this is it's 100% free to get started, and I'm going to walk you through the entire process step by step. Now, real quick, before we get started, if you get any value out of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Helps me bring you more resources, and it keeps you up to date with all the web and tech trends happening throughout the year. But either way, thank you so much for all your support. All right, with that being said, let's get started. Okay, first things first, head over to the Mailercloud homepage. You can get there by visiting blogwithben.com/Mailercloud. That is my affiliate link, and you can access it in the video description below. But I only earn a commission if you decide to make a purchase. You can always try Mailercloud for free. As you can see here, they offer 3 pricing plans to cater to different budgets and audience sizes. The first is the free plan. This allows you to send up to 12,000 emails per month to a maximum of 1,000 contacts. It's a great option for beginners or if you just want to test Mailercloud free of charge before investing in the product. Next is the premium plan. Starting at just $10 per month, the premium plan provides unlimited email sending capabilities up to 600,000 contacts. But keep in mind that the actual cost varies based on the number of contacts you need. So the more contacts you have, the more your monthly rate will be, but there is an option for an annual subscription which offers a 30% discount. Either way, $10 a month for 1,000 contacts is a really good deal. Finally, we have the enterprise plan. And this plan is customizable based on the specific needs of your business and is typically for larger organizations. So there isn't a price listed here, but you can determine the number of contacts and email volume required each month by contacting Mailercloud's sales team. And once that's determined, their team will give you a price. And one thing I want to point out before we dive in is if you scroll down on the pricing page, you'll get a visual of the comparison between each plan offered. And I gotta say that Mailercloud is by far one of the only email marketing providers that gives you all of these features with the free plan. That's what I'm going to be using in this video because you really get to test a ton of their premium features like email automation, analytics, the drag and drop template builder, etc. before deciding whether or not it's a good fit for your audience. Also, they have this cost comparison visual showing you how much Mailercloud stacks up against some of the big names in the email marketing space. And again, as you can see, Mailercloud is by far one of the most affordable when it comes to price per month and audience size. So once you've decided, select the plan that you want to go with. And again, for this tutorial, I'll be using the free plan, so I'll select that one. Next, you'll be prompted to create your Mailercloud account. Simply fill that form out and click the sign up button when ready. Next, you'll be notified that you'll need to check the inbox of the email that you signed up with, and this is to verify your email address and activate your account. So head over to that email inbox, and you should see an email from Mailercloud. It'll look something like this, and then go ahead and click the verify your email address button, and this will activate your Mailercloud account and take you to the onboarding, which as you can see is 3 steps. The first step is to enter your account's contact info. This includes your name or the name of your business, followed by your physical address and website URL. And if you're wondering why you need to provide a physical address, that's because it's required by law. Your physical address needs to be viewable on every email that you send due to the requirements set forth by the CAN-SPAM Act. And basically, this law requires that all messages contain a contact address of the sender. So once you enter your contact info and your site URL, click the Continue button. Next, for step 2, Mailercloud has a few questions to help them get to know you and tailor your account. First, how many subscribers do you have? For this example, I'm starting from scratch, so I'll select 1 to 1000, but if you're migrating subscribers to this account, select the number of subscribers you have. Next, Mailercloud wants to know how you're going to collect subscribers and what type of content you're going to send to them. So fill in your answers here, and whenever you're ready, click the Continue button. Then for step number 3, they ask about your prior experience with email marketing, so select the best one that pertains to you. And then finally, select how you heard about Mailercloud. If you select Other, you'll be prompted to be a little more specific, so fill that out. And then when you're done, click the Continue button. And then it took me back to the Select Your Plan page again for some reason, so I'll select the free plan again. And voila, we're in. Welcome to your Mailercloud account dashboard. This is home base for your account and is how you'll create email campaigns, web forms, set up email automation, and much more. Now, you're probably noticing the 4 steps listed here. We're going to go over those in just a bit, but before we do, I want to quickly give you an overview of this dashboard so you'll have a better idea of where everything is. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to give you a quick tour of your Mailercloud dashboard. That way you'll have a solid understanding of where everything is, which will help you be more efficient with your email marketing strategy. Okay, for starters, when you're brand new to Mailercloud, they give you these 4 steps to help you get started. We're going to go through each one of these in this tutorial, but this is a great way to stay on track and monitor your progress as you're setting up your account. Also, if you don't see these steps in your dashboard for some reason, or you've closed them out, simply click this arrow icon in the sidebar towards the bottom left corner, and you can access these steps and monitor your progress. And speaking of the sidebar, anytime you hover your mouse over it, it opens up and you can see each menu item available that you can navigate to by clicking on them. And going over these really quick, starting at the top, we have the dashboard, which is currently selected. And I should point out that whatever you have selected will display on the right-hand side of the screen. I should also point out that once you clear these 4 onboarding steps, your dashboard will display stats and analytics of your campaigns that you're running, which you'll see a little later on in the video. Below that is the Campaigns tab. This is where you can create various types of email campaigns, including regular and autoresponder campaigns. The dashboard allows you to easily schedule, design, and manage these campaigns, offering advanced scheduling options and a drag-and-drop editor for creating visually appealing emails, which we will do a little later on. Next, we have the Automations tab. And Mailercloud's automation features enable you to set up workflows that automatically send emails based on specific triggers, such as user actions or campaign activities. And this can include welcome emails, follow-ups, or re-engagement campaigns. The platform supports multiple trigger points in a single workflow, helping you streamline your email marketing processes and improve engagement. Below that is the Audience tab. And this section allows you to segment and manage your contact lists effectively. You could also create lists here, and you can organize contacts based on behavior, engagement level, and other criteria. This helps in creating more targeted and personalized email campaigns. Next, we have the Reports section, and Mailercloud provides advanced reporting features that give you real-time insights into your campaign performance. You can track metrics such as opens, clicks, unsubscribes, and bounces. The reports can be downloaded for further analysis, and features like opens by location and conversion tracking help you understand the effectiveness of your campaigns and optimize your future ones. Below that is the template gallery. This offers a variety of pre-built templates that you can customize to fit your brand and message. You could use the drag and drop builder to create professional looking emails without any coding skills. And the gallery includes a range of templates from different types of campaigns, ensuring that you can quickly design and deploy emails that look great on any device. Then moving towards the very bottom there, we have the onboarding steps, and then finally, your account settings. This is where you can configure your account settings, billing info, and access the help center and activity logs. And we'll review some of these settings in just a bit, but I recommend getting familiar with these account and profile settings whenever you have some extra time. Then speaking of help, if you click this icon in the bottom right corner of the screen, you can access Mailercloud's Help Center. This is where you can contact their support team, report an issue, request a feature, stay on top of your notifications, send messages to support, and access their support help docs, all right here. Again, I highly recommend browsing the help docs whenever you have some extra time. Mailercloud has a great support team and help documentation should you ever need some extra assistance with your account or email marketing strategy. All right, that's the Mailercloud dashboard in a nutshell. Next, let's set up your account and go through these 4 onboarding steps. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to create an email list. This will be where you'll store the email addresses of people who subscribe and fill out your web form, and it's the first step in building your list. So to create your list, you have a few ways to go about it. You could start by clicking on the first step here in the dashboard onboarding steps, but if you're not seeing these steps or you can't access them for some reason, simply click the Audience tab on the left sidebar menu and select List from that drop-down. That will bring you to your list management page where you can manage your contacts and create new email lists. Now, by default, Mailercloud starts you off with the default list, and for the sake of time, instead of deleting it and creating a new one, I'm just going to rename this list and use it. So if you click this little arrow located towards the right, this opens a drop-down menu where you can rename the list. But since we're here, if you are migrating contacts, you can also migrate contacts to this list by clicking the Add Contact menu item. And from here, simply follow the steps to add your new contacts. Mailercloud offers 3 methods to add contacts to your list. You can upload a CSV file, you can copy and paste, or you can manually add individual contacts one by one. Now, I'm not migrating contacts to this list, but if you follow these prompts, Mailercloud will walk you through the process of bringing those contacts over to your new list. Okay, back at the default list, instead of creating a new one, I'm going to just rename this one and use it. So I'll click the arrow again to access that drop-down menu, and then this time I'm going to select Rename. Then from here, it's pretty straightforward. You'll type the name of your list in the field provided, and then click the Update button. Then you'll get this success notification. Go ahead and click OK. And as you can see, the list has been renamed to the Blog with Ben newsletter. And I recommend naming your lists so that they coordinate with what they're associated with, like the strategy or content associated with that list. And before I get ahead of myself, I just want to point out that yes, I named this list Blog with Ben newsletter, but as you'll see in a few moments, this list is going to be associated with a completely different themed fitness website. So in a real life scenario, I would have probably named this list something that relates more to the fitness niche, but either way, once you have either renamed the default list or created a completely new list, the next step is to authenticate your domain. So let's head back to the dashboard now that we have our list, and you can do that by clicking the dashboard menu item in the sidebar, and then moving on. Next, let's authenticate the domain associated with this account. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the process of authenticating your domain and setting up your sender ID. And if you're brand new to all this, no worries, I'm going to walk you through step by step. So, domain authentication is the sender's credibility. You're the sender. It's basically your credibility verification process, and it helps the email recipient to identify whether the email is actually sent from a sender whom they're claiming to be. It has an immensely positive impact on the reputation of you and your email deliverability by filtering out spam and fraud. And internet service providers can't trust messages that don't have the authentication set up, as they cannot be certain about the source of the message. So that's why it's extremely important to authenticate your domain that is associated with your Mailercloud account. Then on the other hand is the sender ID. And this is an authentication protocol used to verify the sender's identity and prevent email spoofing. And it works by checking the sender's IP address against the domain's SPF record in the DNS. And I know that's a lot of technical jargon I threw at you, but this verification process helps reduce spam and phishing and also improves email deliverability. So to start the process from your dashboard, click on step number 2. And this will bring you to your domains management page where you can add and manage domains associated with your Mailercloud account. Now, I'm going to walk you through this process in the video, but Mailercloud has a great quick little video that walks you through the steps of this process as well. You could watch it here if you'd like, but as I said, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know right now. So first things first, click the Add Your Domain button, and you'll be prompted to enter your domain. So in the field provided, type your domain like so. Be sure not to use the HTTP or HTTPS prefixes, and don't add the www. Just type your domain. Then when ready, click the Proceed button. Next, you'll be presented with the DNS records that you'll need to add to your domain provider. If you're brand new to all this, I know it can look kind of intimidating, but trust me, it's pretty simple once you know where to go and what to do. You're basically copying and pasting these records into your domain's DNS records. Now, one thing I want to point out is that depending on your domain's registrar, the steps to add these records will vary. I currently use Cloudflare to manage my DNS records, but if you use a different provider like GoDaddy or Namecheap, then the steps will be a little different. However, Mailercloud has a great help doc that outlines some of the steps to add these records to different providers by clicking the Visit Here link. And if you scroll down a bit, you'll find the section where Mailercloud lists out the steps to access and update the DNS records for various providers. And I'll link to this doc in the video description below, but as always, if you're having trouble with this step, feel free to reach out to Mailercloud's support team or leave a comment below. I'd be more than happy to help you out in any way that I can. Okay, back at my Mailercloud account, all we're doing here is we're adding these DNS records to my domain provider. And each record can be broken down into 3 parts. First, we have the type of record. And for this particular task, we're only adding 3 CNAME records and 2 TXT records. Next is the name, and this is used to specify which part of the domain record applies to and helps in directing traffic to the correct resource. And finally, there's the value. And this is the data or information that the record holds, which varies depending on the record type. And all we're doing is adding these records to our current domain registrar's DNS records, which in this case is Cloudflare. Then once you add these records to your domain registrar, you'll come back here and check this box to verify those records. And once verified, the domain will be authenticated. Again, if you're new to all this, I know I threw a lot at you, but it's really pretty simple once you know how the process works. And as I mentioned, I'm using Cloudflare for my domain's DNS records, so if you have Cloudflare, you could follow along in this portion of the video. Okay, the first record that I'm going to add is this CNAME record. So go ahead and click that copy button next to where it says MC. Then once copied, I'm going to head over to my Cloudflare account, and I'm currently in the DNS records for my domain, but you can get here by clicking on DNS and then select records in that sidebar menu on the left-hand side of the screen, and that will bring you to your domain's DNS records that you're looking at right now. And then all we're doing here is we're adding 5 new records. Remember, the 3 CNAME records and the 2 TXT records. And it's a pretty straightforward process. To add a brand new record, click the Add Record button, and then you'll enter the type, name, and value, which I'll walk you through right now. So again, the first record that I'm adding is a CNAME record. So in the type section there, click that little arrow, and from the drop down, select CNAME. Then in the name field, I'll paste the MC name that I copied from Mailercloud. Next is the value, or target, as it's called in Cloudflare. But either way, let's head back to Mailercloud. And in that first CNAME record, click the copy button next to the first value there. And then once copied, head back to Cloudflare, and in the target field, paste it like so. Perfect. And then since we're using the CNAME record for verification purposes only, be sure to set the proxy status to DNS only. If you have the option to do this, be sure to do this for all of the remaining records that you add from Mailercloud. Okay, then once the new record has been created, click the Save button. And in a few moments, the new record has been added. Then for the sake of time, I'm not going to make you sit through me adding and editing the rest of the records, but please, when you do, be sure to follow the instructions for each record listed here. Some have you add brand new records. This TXT has you delete the current one and add this brand new one. And then this TXT record has you edit the current one. So just keep your eye out for these instructions. And then once you do that, as you can see, the records will look like this in your Cloudflare account. So I have 3 CNAME records and the TXT record, And then when we scroll down, you can see the second TXT record that I edited to match what Mailercloud requested. Okay, so once that's done, head back to Mailercloud, and this time check the box next to where it says Verify DNS Records, and then click the Verify button, and the verification process begins. Now, in this case, it only took a few seconds. As you can see, we get this success notification that my domain has been verified and to move on to the next step, which is to set up the sender ID. So when you see this success notification, click the Set Up Sender ID button. And from here, you're going to provide some details about the new sender. So in this form on the right-hand side of the screen, enter the required information such as the email address that you want to use as the sender ID, and then the sender name, as well as your physical address. And then once that's all filled out, click the Continue button. And you'll get a success notification letting you know that the verification email was sent to the inbox you used for the sender. And you'll notice that the status of the sender is pending. So let's head over to that email inbox. And then you should see an email that looks like this. Simply click the Verify Your Sender ID button. And you should get a notification that the verification was successful. Beautiful. So go ahead and click the Go to Dashboard button. And then one way you can confirm that both the domain and sender ID verifications were successful is by visiting your account settings. So from your dashboard, if you click that avatar in the bottom left corner, that opens a menu where if you click Account, you can access your account settings. This is where you can monitor your account usage and billing, among many other things. One of them being the sender authentication. So when you click that menu item, you can access your domains, sender management, which are your sender IDs, and reply IDs. So first, let's open the domains. And as you can see, the domain we added has been successfully authenticated. Then if we open the sender authentication menu item again and select sender management this time, you should see your newly added sender ID with a successful verification status. Just wanted to show you how to access these features if you need to monitor them or you're having some trouble getting verified. As always, if you are having trouble, don't hesitate to reach out to Mailercloud support. They'd be more than happy to help you out. Okay, moving on. Let's head back to the dashboard by clicking the dashboard menu item. And then the last step of this onboarding process is to create your first email campaign. And we're definitely going to do that, but I'm going to add a step in between, and that is to create a web form. So I'm actually going to close this out by clicking that skip button in the upper right corner of the screen. And when I do, you'll see that the dashboard now displays some quick stats about our subscribers and campaigns. Now, I don't have any active campaigns yet, but whenever I set that up, you'll see some additional stats and analytics here on your dashboard. Okay, moving on. Next, let's create a web form so that you can begin collecting email addresses and growing your list. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a web form. This is an essential component to any successful email marketing strategy, and it allows you to capture emails and grow your audience. And thankfully, Mailercloud has a form builder that lets you easily build professional web forms that you can then embed anywhere on your website or blog. So, to create a form, within your dashboard on the left sidebar, click on where it says Audience, and then from the drop-down menu, select Web Forms. Then to create a new web form, click the Create Form button. And next you'll be asked to name your form. So in the field provided, go ahead and type the name of your form. Next you have the option to select what type of form you want to create. This is probably one of the most extensive lists of form options I've seen from a free email marketing provider. Mailercloud really gives you a ton of great options in terms of the types of web forms you could create with your free account. Typically you have to pay for options like this, but as of now in 2024, you can access all of these form types. Now, for the sake of time, we'll only be creating one form in this video, and that is the embedded form, which is the current one that I have selected. However, when you have some extra time, I recommend experimenting with the different types of web forms that Mailercloud offers. Every website and campaign is different, and your particular situation may call for a different type of web form. So feel free to experiment here when you have some extra time. Okay, so once you've selected the type of form you want to build, click the Next button. And this will bring you to the web form template selector. On the left are the different types of templates that you could choose from. And then whatever template you have selected, you'll get a preview of it here on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, I should point out that all of these templates are customizable, as you'll see in a few moments, so don't think that these templates are set in stone. But they are great starting points to help you get the ball rolling on your web forms. So for this example, I'm going to select the newsletter template. And then we get this little preview of what it will look like. Then once you've selected your template, click the Continue button. And this will bring you to the form builder. This is a really innovative way to create your forms because instead of having to know how to code, Mailercloud has this drag and drop builder where you can literally build your forms in real time with a few clicks of the mouse. And taking a closer look at the builder, on the left you have the form settings. This is where you can add fields, change the typography, color, styles, and configuration options like the thank you message, all right here. Then on the right is the preview of your form, but it's also an interactive builder. As you can see, when I hover my mouse over the form fields, you have the option to rearrange, delete, copy, and edit the entire form right here in the preview, giving you a ton of creative control, and as I mentioned earlier, no coding necessary. So with that being said, let's build a web form. Okay, so for this example, I only want to capture the subscriber's first name and email address, so I'll want to remove the last name field. And to do that, simply hover your mouse over that field. And then if you look towards the right, there are these three icons, one of them being a trash can. And if you click that trash can, that completely removes the field from the form. Then you can add new form fields here if you'd like. Simply drag and drop them wherever you see fit within the form. But again, for this form, I'm only having 2 fields. Next, if you want to edit a form field, simply click on it. And this will open the field options where you can edit things like the property name, field type, label, placeholder text, as well as making the field required or hiding it altogether. And I'm leaving everything as is, except I do want to make this field required for the subscriber to fill out before they submit their info. So under the basic settings section, flip that first switch on, and this makes the first name field required. You could tell by that little asterisk being added to the field. Next, for the sake of the example, let's take a look at the Style section. So if we open the Style tab, this is where you can do things like edit the field and button styles. And I'm not going to do much here, but feel free to experiment with these style tools to refine your form's design. However, I will change the button color. And all you'll do is click that color swatch next to where it says button color. And that opens a color picker tool where you can find a new color or enter a hex color code if you have a specific color in mind. Then you could also click on the button itself within the form preview, and this gives you the ability to change the color as well as the call to action text. So instead of submit, I'm going to change this button to say subscribe. You can even change the button alignment, and I'm going to center this button instead of having it aligned left, and there we go. Okay, that's going to do it for the design of the form. Moving on to the Options tab. And this is where you can configure things like the thank you message that displays after they fill out the form. You can either change the text in that text box, or you could have the form redirect to a different page if you have a thank you page set up in your subscriber journey. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to use this thank you message here, but I will make a few small tweaks to it. And it's like editing an email. Just change the text here within the text box like so. Then below that, I recommend checking that box if you want to prevent duplicate submissions. And then this is very important. Be sure to select the correct list that you want this form to send the submissions to. So click that drop down and make sure you have this form connected to the correct list. Then finally, you could add tags to the form. This allows you to assign specific tags to contacts who fill out this form, helping you segment and manage your audience more effectively. This is a little more advanced, but it's still a great feature. Okay, so I think this form is ready. You could preview what it will look like on different devices here. We're currently in the desktop preview, but clicking on each icon lets you see how it'll look on different devices. There's this mobile phone preview and then the tablet preview. Looking great. All right, once you're ready to add this form to your site, click the Publish button. And then Mailercloud will give you two ways to integrate this form. You could share it via a link, which can come in handy on social media. But for this example, I'm embedding this form on my WordPress blog. So I'll click the Embed tab, and then you'll be presented with the embed code to add to your site. So let's do that right now. So first, I want to copy this code. So we'll click the Copy button. And then as I mentioned earlier, I'm adding this form to a demo WordPress site of mine. Now I know I've been setting up Mailercloud for Blog with Ben, but I'm not actually using it on my personal blog. So for the sake of this example, I'm going to add this to a fitness blog. I apologize for any confusion, but whenever you're going through this process, you'll obviously want all of your domains, lists, and campaigns to match. But either way, this is how you embed a web form to a WordPress website. And real quick, another thing I want to point out is that depending on the type of WordPress theme you're using, these steps may vary, but for the most part, you should be able to follow along regardless of the theme you're using. Okay, so for this example, I'll be embedding this web form in my sidebar, so I'll want to open up the customization menu. And then the widgets tab. And then the sidebar. And then this theme uses widgets, so I'll click the Add a New Widget button. And if your theme uses blocks, just add a new block here. And then find the custom HTML widget or block. And then once added, you can give it a title. This will display over the form. And then in the text box below that, place your cursor there and paste the embed code for Mailercloud like so. Then I'm actually going to move this form up, so I'll drag and drop this widget to the top of the sidebar. There we go. And then let's publish this so that we could see what it looks like. And then when we close this out and visit the site, we scroll down to the home page and check that out. The Mailercloud form is displaying correctly and the embed code is working. All right, next let's test this out really quick to make sure that the lead flow is behaving correctly. So I'm going to fill this out and then submit my info. And then we get that thank you message. Looks great. Then let's double check and make sure that the lead went to the right list. So back at Mailercloud within the sidebar, let's open the Audience tab. And then select Lists. And then click that little arrow next to the list that you sent the lead to and select Refresh from the drop-down. This refreshes the list. And perfect. It's now showing 2 contacts instead of 1, so this tells me that it worked, but let's confirm. So if you click on the View button, this takes you to the Lists Analytics where you could do a deep dive on all of your form submissions and contacts. And if you click on the Contacts tab, you could see that the email address that I just submitted for my test went through and the form is sending leads to the correct list. Awesome. We're on our way to growing this email list. Okay, let's exit out of here. And moving on. Next, let's set up an automated welcome email. In this portion of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up an automated welcome email so that when someone subscribes to your email list, Mailercloud will automatically send them a welcome email. And the welcome email is a great opportunity to not only introduce yourself, but it can be used to help set the expectations for your new subscribers as well. Plus, iContact has a ton of professional email templates that can help you set the tone and make a great first impression with your audience. So to get started within your Mailercloud dashboard, click on Automations. And then this is where all of your automations will be managed. You can create new ones, monitor active ones, pause them, or stop them altogether from this section of your account. And I obviously haven't created one yet, so let's do that right now. So go ahead and click the Create Automation button to get started. And next you'll have a few options in terms of how you want to proceed. So Mailercloud breaks their automations into 2 types, Advanced and Classic. Classic automation handles basic tasks like event-triggered emails and autoresponders, making it suitable for simpler workflows. And then advanced automation offers more sophisticated features, including multiple triggers, complex conditions, and customizable time zones and schedules. And this allows for creating highly detailed and dynamic email workflows tailored to specific marketing needs. And for this example, I'm just going to keep the advanced option selected, and then you'll want to name your automations. So in that field provided, type whatever you want to name this. And then when ready, click the Create Now button. Next, Mailercloud presents you with some pre-made automation templates. These provide a streamlined way to create email marketing campaigns by offering predefined workflows for various marketing scenarios. And the templates cover common needs such as welcome series, re-engagement campaigns, abandoned cart reminders, etc. They're designed to help users quickly implement effective email sequences without the need to build from scratch. And you could filter through all the templates by category here on the left-hand side, or you could just browse all of them here on the right-hand side. Again, these are great because they do a lot of the heavy lifting by creating sophisticated flows for you, where all you have to do is just create the content. And whenever you have some extra time, I highly recommend taking a closer look at these flow templates to see how they work and whether or not they'd be a good fit for your email marketing strategy. But for this example, I'm keeping it super simple, and I'm just going to be sending one automated welcome email. So I'll be building this flow from scratch. So I'll select Create from Scratch. And next you'll be asked to select a starting point for your email automation workflow. And again, they have various options here, and depending on your strategy, some of these may work for you. But for this example, I'm going to have this automation send the welcome email when someone joins my email list. So I'll select the first option there, which is the contact joins to a particular list. And then you'll be prompted to select the list that this automation will be associated with. So from that dropdown, select the list that you want the welcome email to go to, and then check that box if you want this to apply to imported contacts as well, and then click the Save and Continue button. Next, you'll be taken to the Automation Visual Builder. This is really cool because it's like an interactive whiteboard where you can visually build out your automations. Users can drag and drop various elements to construct their workflows, and this intuitive interface makes it easy to see and manage the entire automation sequence. As you can see, this automation is super simple. It starts with a trigger, which is a contact signing up to my newsletter list. However, that's all that's happening at the moment. So now it's time to add an action to this flow and tell it to send the welcome email. So from the Visual Builder, if you click that little circle plus icon that's blinking, that opens a sidebar menu where you can add different actions to take after a contact is added to this list. And you have multiple actions to choose from, but for this example, I'll be sending a welcome email. So I'll select Send Mail from that list. And then this will open your campaign manager, where if you've created any email campaigns, they'll be listed here, but we haven't created any, obviously, so let's create our welcome email campaign. So go ahead and click the Create New button there, and this will take you to your campaign builder. And this is somewhat similar to the Webform builder in that on the left is where you can enter your campaign details, and then on the right is a preview of that campaign, essentially a preview of your email. And that's what the campaign is at the end of the day. It's an email, which we still need to build, but we'll do that in just a bit. First, we want to configure the details of this campaign. So let's start by giving this campaign a relevant and concise name. So in that name field, we'll type the name of the campaign. Next, you want to choose an innovative, attractive, and tailored subject line to your target audience. And if you look below the subject line field, you'll see Mailercloud's new AI assistant. Now, we're not going to use it in this video, but clicking on that will give you access to their AI writing assistant that will help you come up with copy for your subject line if you're having some writer's block. Okay, then when you enter your subject line, you'll notice that it now displays in the preview and gives you an idea as to what it'll look like in your subscriber's inbox. Pretty cool. Next, you'll want to enter the sender details, including the From ID. So open that drop down and select the email address that you want this welcome email to come from. And when you do, the details will automatically update the sender name and reply to email as well. We also get a preview of it on the right-hand side. Looks great. Okay, next you can add campaign tags if you want, and these aid in further segmentation and targeting of your subscribers. Then below that, you can add an email pre-header, disclaimer, and conversion tracking. Simply flip those switches and you can turn those features on for this particular email campaign. And for this example, I will turn on the email pre-header. And when you do, you'll be presented with a text box where you'll type what you want your pre-header to be. And as you do, you get a preview of it on the right-hand side as well. And pre-headers are great enticers for getting people to actually open the email once it hits their inbox. Okay, once we have all of the campaign settings in place, it's time to create the actual email that will be associated with this campaign. So to get started, click the Choose Email Template button, and then you'll be presented with some template options when it comes to crafting your email. These two are great starting points to help streamline the creative process and get your email off to a solid start. And feel free to test and experiment with these different types, but for this example, I'm going to select the template gallery. And this will open the template gallery, obviously, and this is where you can browse and preview all of the pre-made email templates that Mailercloud has to offer. As you can see, they have a ton to choose from and various types of campaigns for different seasonal campaigns and different strategies. You can even use the search bar to search by keyword if you'd like, and I'm going to do that real quick, so I'll type the word welcome. And when I do, we get all of the templates that have the keyword welcome in the title. So once you've selected your email template, click the Continue button, and the template will be added to your campaign. However, we aren't done. We still need to edit the content of this email template. So before we publish this, always be sure to edit the content of the pre-made template by clicking the Edit button. And this will bring you to the Email Template Builder. This builder offers a user-friendly drag-and-drop interface, allowing users to easily add and arrange elements like text, images, buttons, and more. And this intuitive setup helps in quickly building and customizing email templates without the need for coding. And before we do anything, let me give you a quick tour of the builder. So starting on the left are the various structures, blocks, and templates that you can add to the current template. These are like the Webform builder in that you can just drag and drop them over towards the middle of the screen in the template preview, and then you can construct the email in real time right here in the visual builder. Then moving to the right are the general settings. This is where you can configure things like the content padding, typography, colors, styles, etc., giving you a ton of creative control over your email's design. Then in the middle is the visual builder, again very similar to the Webform builder, and that everything here is customizable and you can make your edits in real time as you're building the email. No coding or high-tech skills needed, just hover your mouse over the elements or blocks of content that you want to edit and start making your changes. And speaking of that, let's quickly go over how to edit this template. So one way is to add different blocks of content to the email. Like if I wanted to add some more text, simply select the text block from the menu there on the left-hand side of the screen, and then drag it to the visual builder and simply place it where you want to add new text. And this will add a new text box where you can begin typing and adding copy to your email. Also, as you do, you'll see the editing toolbar appear at the top of the screen. This gives you even more control over the text and how it looks within your template. You can add hyperlinks, you could change the font color, typography, change the alignment, or make the font bold. All right here within this toolbar. Then if you hover your mouse over any of the blocks of content, you'll get these three icons. The furthest to the left lets you move and rearrange the block within the template. The middle icon lets you make a duplicate copy of the block. And then the trash can lets you delete the block. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'll click the trash can icon and then confirm that I really want to remove this text block since I'm just adding it for the sake of the example. And there we go. Okay, then for the sake of time, I'm not going to make you sit through me editing this template, but as you become more familiar with the editing features and the configurations, you can really mold these templates to align with your overall style and brand guidelines. And again, I'm speeding through this really quick, but I just want to reiterate how easy this visual template builder makes editing and crafting a professional email campaign for your audience. It really looks great. Okay, there we go. Super simple, and it looks a lot more professional than sending a bunch of text. You can even preview the email here, and we get to see what it'll look like when viewed on a desktop. Then if you click these icons, you can preview how it'll look on a mobile device, and it looks great on the mobile device as well. The templates are responsive, so that means regardless of the type of device that the user is viewing it on, your email will look professional. Okay, so far so good. I really like how this is turning out. Okay, after you've crafted your email and you are ready for it to be used in the campaign, Click the Continue button, and this will take us back to the campaign builder where we get a preview of the full welcome email campaign, and so far so good. But I highly recommend sending yourself a test email so that you can see how to look in a real inbox. So to send a test email, towards the bottom of the screen there, click the Test Mail button, and then you'll be prompted to enter the email addresses to where you want to send the test email. If you're sending this to more than one email address, be sure to separate them by commas, and then click the Send Now button to send the test. And then once you get the notification that the test email has been sent, go ahead and click OK. And then whenever I head over to my inbox that the test email was sent to, voila, the test welcome email looks great. Everything is functioning properly, and I love the way it looks. Okay, so I'm ready to add this welcome email automation so that this email will be sent every time someone signs up to my list via the web form on my blog. So back at Mailercloud, whenever you're ready, click the Save and Return to Journey button. And then check this out. Mailercloud even does some checks to make sure that there are no broken links in your content and that there aren't any blacklisted domains attached to the email either. These are two things that will really hurt your deliverability. So the fact that Mailercloud checks these things for you before you send it out to your audience is a really nice feature. Okay, so we're good to go. So go ahead and click the Continue button. And the campaign has been activated and added to our automation workflow. As you can see, the trigger is now someone signing up to our list, and then when they do, the welcome email campaign begins and they will receive the welcome email that we just created. Then you can add to the flow and continue to build out the automation if you want, but again, I'm just keeping this super simple for the sake of time, so this will be good for now. Okay, so whenever you're ready to make this automation live, just click that Publish Now button in the upper right corner of the screen. And yes, I'm sure I want to publish this, so click OK. And the welcome email automation is now live. So let's test this lead journey out and make sure everything is behaving correctly. So if we head over to my blog, and then let's fill out the form again. And then when I submit my information, we get the thank you message. Then if we head over to the email inbox that I just signed up with, check that out. We get the welcome email with the subject line and the pre-header. And then when I open it up, boom, the email template that we just built looks great. So far, so good. Next, let's confirm that the lead data is being stored correctly. So back at Mailercloud, you can see that the dashboard has been updated, and we're now getting some stats like sends, open, clicks, and unsubscribe data. And then we even get an overview of the contact summary and engagement as well. And then if we visit the list associated with this web form and automation, you can see that we now have 3 subscribers, and the email address that I just signed up with is now part of that list, confirming that the lead flow works and the automation has been set up correctly. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, if you're thinking about starting a blog, you gotta check out my step-by-step tutorials. They'll show you everything you need to know in order to build, grow, and monetize a professional WordPress blog. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.